Exactly a year ago, I was walking around the holy Kaaba and I was making tons and tons of dua. To get into Jannah, to have four wives, to be rich, all the basic things a man wants, right? And I'm going to be very, very honest with you. At the time, as I'm circling and doing tawaf around the Kaaba, I literally had around $1,000 in my bank account. Maybe a bit less, maybe a bit more, somewhere around that. And I remember during that time, I was in a very, very bad financial situation. I had 1,000 in my bank account, and everything I had made up until that point, I had spent to actually be at Umrah with my boys on the plane tickets, on the hotels, everything. And I had like $1,000 to live on for the next 2 weeks for food, for like gifts I was gonna buy for my family, all these random things, right? And I knew that the money I was making, my financial situation, it had to change. Because at the time, I was also in uni doing a degree I didn't really want to do, I didn't really care about. And I was just basically broke all around. And I knew things that had to change. And I wanted things to change with an online business. And I was making tons of dua, right? I was asking Allah to not only help me in starting this business, but also succeeding with this type of business. And that was kind of like a big thing for me, right? I remember making dua to get to like 10K a month, to get to 100K a month, all these like random things, right? And when I got back home after Umrah, after trying my best to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as best as I could in those 2 weeks there, right? I come back home and I have like this great level of like motivation, of energy to start making tons and tons of progress towards my goals. And that's exactly what I do. I put my head down and I start like learning, reading books, watching podcasts, whatever I can. And more importantly, I start to take action. I actually end up starting this business. And Alhamdulillah, things are going well for a bit. Things are doing better and better and all this good stuff. And I start out with like living the entrepreneurial dream, right? I'm gonna like start this business, it's gonna be really successful. And I'm gonna be honest with you again, months go by, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4, 5 months go by, and I'm trying, like, I'm waking up every day at 5 in the morning. I'm trying to start this YouTube thing, I'm trying to blow up on YouTube, all this stuff, right? And I'm giving so much of my energy, so much of my time to this business, to everything I'm trying to start, but nothing is working out. I'm seeing no results. I genuinely remember specifically at this time, my mom would ask me, like, why do you wake up at 5 in the morning, try to work on YouTube, trying to grind out YouTube? Like, what's even the point? You're not getting anything out of it, right? And like, she was right. I was sacrificing my uni, I was sacrificing everything for like this business I was trying to run. From this business I was trying to win with, to actually like fix my financial situation with, to fix my family's financial situation, to change things, but nothing was happening. And I specifically remember there were multiple times, like I used to literally wake up at the Hajj at that time, or at the latest at like Fajr time, right? It was still like 5:30 in the morning. And I remember I would instantly wake up in this very room on that bed. I would instantly wake up and I would just have like kind of anxiety in like my heart. I would not feel good. I would feel super super negative. It's crazy to like talk about it now, but I was kind of like, I won't say depressed because depression isn't real, but like let's say I was depressed, right? I was just in a negative emotions consistently. I would go to sleep like that. I would wake up like that. And a big part of it was that I was not winning in the one thing I wanted to win in the one thing I was super, super focused on, in the one thing I wanted to actually bring a change around. And I remember like literally I prayed Isha one night and I was again feeling that negativity, right? I was depressed, I was anxious, all of that. And Alhamdulillah, Allah allowed me to realize that everything I'm going through right now, all the challenges, all the negative emotions I feel internally, all the negativity I see externally, everything, it is all Allah's plan for me. I started to like believe, like I've always believed, like since I was 14, that I'm going to be rich, that I'm going to be successful and whatever, right? And I've had this fundamental belief that anything I want to achieve, I can achieve unless Allah doesn't will me to achieve it, right? Of course. So I remember during this time, I just had that belief that one day I will win. There will come a one day that just because of like the sheer amount of effort I'm putting in, not only with my like business, with the actions in this dunya, but also with my deen, right? Like I told you, I was waking up for tahajjud, all this stuff. I was like, one day, a day will come where I will win. It has to happen. And one day it will happen. Like, inshallah, Allah will give that day to me one day. But that just means that everything that leads up to this day, to that specifically day where I win, it is all Allah's plan. Allah is taking me through this journey. He's taking me through the ups and specifically these downs so I can become the man who deserves to win on that one day. Does that make sense? I can go like 20, 30, 100 days without losing. And I literally, with losing. So I literally remember I went 100 days, maybe even a bit more, with not even getting a single W, not even seeing victory or getting close to it. But I knew that one day I will win. One day my business will do good. One day I will get like the money I want, the success I want, all of that stuff, right? And it's not even that I desired it. I needed it. It was so dependent on like my just situation, I guess, that for me it was basically like I have to win or like everything is kind of like worthless. Of course it's not, right? Of course our deen and stuff is important, but it was super important for me to win. I was gonna go hungry, I was gonna go broke, whatever it was, if I didn't win. And I knew that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is the best of planners. And He is also the Ar-Razaq, the all provider. And He will take care of me. He will not let me down. I might face challenges, I might go down, but He won't keep me down. He won't like just bury me into like downness, right? Whatever. And I remember I realized this and I instantly cheered up, right? It was back here. I instantly cheered up because I realized all of this is Allah's plan and that one day I will win. And I just need to keep going. So I continued to put in the actions. I continued to get better and better every single day. And guess what? A few more months go by. It wasn't instant. It wasn't like instantly things got better. But slowly but surely, I started to win. Slowly but surely, I will take a W here. I will take a W there. Oh, this video popped up. This video got 200,000 views. Nice. I just made $1,000 sale. I just made a $2,000 sale. Boom, I made 5K in 9 days through Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's will. Whoa, that's awesome. Alhamdulillah. All through Allah's will. And there is even a verse in the Quran where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, glad tidings come to the patient. And you need to have not only that level of sabr, but to have that tawakkul. And because I practiced that, alhamdulillah, through Allah's will, Allah helped me so much. I'm not a genius, right? It all happened through Allah's will. But because I just kept going and I trusted Allah, I had sabr, I started to win. That day that I was looking forward to, the one day that I will win, that I was waiting on for so long, for months and months on end. When that day finally arrived, I knew that number one, and this is like the most important piece of advice I can give you, is to be grateful. That you might want to be arrogant, you might want to be boastful. Maybe at times I am, right? I'm not perfect. I know I have been in the past and everything like that. But you might feel like you need to be arrogant, like, oh, it's all me. I'm a G, bro. Escape the matrix, bro. Whatever it is, right? You might want to have that emotion. And it's so important. It is like a skill. It is important to consciously be grateful for what you've got. And being grateful does not mean, let's say you made $1,000, right? Being grateful does not mean that you're like, oh, alhamdulillah, yeah, guys, alhamdulillah, anyways, let's go do this. Let's go commit this sin. Let's go do this. Gratefulness is you being like, okay, I made $1,000. Let me go give 300 of that to my local mosque. Let me give it in charity. Let me go do this. Let me go do that. And let me go spend it on my family. Let me go get ice creams with my little sister and brother. Whatever it is, you need to be able to show gratitude and not be arrogant. But number two, which is also very important, is that when you are on this journey, when you are like trusting this process and everything like that, and you are having tawakkul, make sure that you go out of your way to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to make Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala happy. And you also make tons and tons of that. And inshallah, by that, not only will you be rewarded for your actions in the hereafter, but by you pleasing Allah, by you making dua and trying your best to be kind of like on Allah's good side, there's a higher chance that He gives you what you want. You know, the 10K a month, the 4 wives, whatever it is. There's a higher chance when you please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He gives you what you want. And of course, He might not give it to you He might still give you what you want. He might still not give you what you want. That's all, like Allah's will, right? That's not on me to control. But by you pleasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not only will you do better in your akhirah, not only will you feel better in yourself, but there's a higher likelihood, there's a higher chance of you getting what you want, maybe inshallah. Thank you for your time. Go join my free community. Inshallah, I'll see you in there. Assalamu alaikum.